How would you like to paint a raven with a butterfly today with me? I'm going to show every layer or almost every process except for a little bit of the highlight penning at the very end. But I thought we would do freestyle. This whole thing is sped up. So this isn't real time. Take that into account, like when you're painting it, you're going to be going much slower and much more relaxed and just really enjoying the process. This first, I'm not even taping it down. This first whole thing is the splattering, the layer, the background, what's going to be kind of the emotion or feeling in the background. And it will dry a little lighter, sprinkling a little salt on here. And there's a little fly. Let's chase him off the paper. The moisture from the paper attracts the little gnats. Up here I've decided we're going to put a butterfly in the image. And again, this is all freestyle. So I decided where I wanted him. And I'm going to put down a lot of water. And I'm going to allow the coloring to just bleed together and as I'm shaping it out. And I actually think you are really going to enjoy this process. If you're not that familiar with watercolors, you're going to enjoy this. I would think most people do watercolors for this very thing, is to enjoy the bleeding of the different colors and the mixing of the different colors together by just letting the gravity in the water move everything around. It becomes so amazingly beautiful. I think it's something that I enjoy when I look at other people's watercolors, is seeing that bleed, but at a distance it looks like an image or a photo or the subject, but when you walk up or as you get closer, you see these beautiful rainbows and just fascinating colors mixing together and making other colors. And then when they dry, they're a little different color, kind of a little darker and sometimes a little lighter. And look at the amazing salt effects that are on the backgrounds here. So at this point, what I'm kind of doing is I'm coming in and I'm figuring out the shape of the raven that I want to do. And you'll see me actually change the shape and the extension of the beak a couple times because I want it to all feel very balanced and have the correct ratios for the bird, or as close as possible. And again, the very thing that I'm looking for, or I'm really concentrating on, are the values and the shapes and the size of those shapes, but the value in the shapes. That's kind of how I figured I kept having to come back, because when they're big, small, it's like a jaybird, and then it's the middle size, it's like a crow, and you have to have the right size beak for a raven, right? So that's why I came back to that 3 times as I'm working on the body, because I want to have the correct measurements for these shadows and these shapes that I'm painting now. And there's always like a few stages where when I'm doing something, so not always, but a lot, when you are working on something, you might get to something like, ooh, I don't know about that, or that's not in the right spot. Like I didn't measure that correctly, because you're doing it by eye, right? Again, this is freestyle. This is no preliminary drawings or sketches. And it's more challenging. It does make things more difficult sometimes, but at the same time, I enjoy doing it. And I really figured out that I really enjoy doing it for when I do my coffee paintings, because when I paint with coffee, I don't do drawings. I'm literally just moving the coffee around and painting by values only. So I think that I enjoy that process so much. Occasionally I'll do a watercolor without doing an under sketch. I really enjoy freestyle painting. I also didn't want to go too dark with the raven, but of course the raven is black. Because if you've noticed as you're looking around, because I did my preliminary bleed underneath the raven, that some of those colors are gently coming through. And when you layer the colors like that, you will get different colors. Like there's a little bit of yellows with the blues on the top of the wing, and it kind of gives it this partially soft greens. And then there's some lavenders coming through because there's the magentas that are. So this isn't black I'm using. This is a magenta red mixed with the dark Prussian blue. I believe it might be. It might be ultramarine. No, actually, I believe this is the Prussian. Okay, I should look. It doesn't matter. It's a very dark blue. So you have a dark cold blue, and then you might use a Cerulean for. That's what I did with the sky. I used more of the Cerulean because it gives a more of a distant, foggy look to that. And then I'm just kind of coming in with some of the greens. The green is a mix of Cerulean and lemon yellow with a little bit of that darker blue, so it doesn't look too bright. Because if they looked really, really bright, obviously it looks like leaves that are in the sunshine. And I wanted these to be a little bit darker than that. Now, once the butterfly has dried, we get to come back to the butterfly. And again, these mixes of colors are like with the magentas, the orange and lemon yellows, the lilac. It's not a lilac. Oh, what is it? And I want to remind you too, I have other paintings with the dragon snakes that are done in the acrylic. Those videos are up now, and they have full gold backgrounds. They're really beautiful. You can take a look at those. I also have a couple cooking videos because, as you know, on the Impromptu Life, it's all about creation and creating things and being very creative with whatever hobby or task we're working on. And so I do have the pink apple pie video, which is really fun. I also have a whole chicken soup that we put together. So there's other things on the channel. I also am doing gardening, and we'll be doing some off-grid things where we're actually making the things for all our off-grid fun. And that's going to be a little while. I know I said I wanted to be going up there pretty soon, but that's going to be a little while. Just keep look out for those, and don't forget to like and subscribe, comment. I love all the feedback. And I'm sure if you subscribe, I don't know if you have to do a bell icon or anything anymore. Hopefully it will let you know when those off-grid videos. We're going to be doing fun stuff off the grid, planting trees, building buildings, more like small buildings and stuff, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're going to be doing pottery. I mean me and you, okay? You and I are going to be out there doing pottery, probably Roku, probably doing fire pits. I'm probably even going to make my pottery wheel. I don't know. That's just the kind of person I am. So if you enjoy, if you want to know how to make your own pottery wheel, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, though, please subscribe. Now a little bit more salt on top of that, because when you have very dark watercolors, the salts just make the most amazing patterns. There she is, all finished and done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really love this painting and enjoyed the time-lapse process. And be sure to check out the channel.